Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I will be trying all the Kat Von D makeup that I got from my recent Sephora haul. And these are the products right here. Now, I have a primer, foundation, setting spray, and a contour and highlight kit, the setting powder, the brush, which came in this cute case, and 3 lipstick. Now originally on the haul I only have 1 liquid lipstick, which is Bow and Arrow, but I already own Lolita and Lolita too, so we'll try that as well. And then for eyeshadow, I have the Shade and Light eyeshadow palette as well as the Shade and Light contour kit. Without further ado, let's hop right into the video. First and foremost, I will actually try to set my face with a makeup mist because my face feels a little bit dry for some reason. I love the mist in this one, and the setting spray smells like cucumber and a little bit sweet, which is strange, but that's pretty cool. I've already filled in my brows because I don't really have any Kat Von D eyebrow stuff. Well, I suppose I could use this eyeshadow palette, but I didn't really think of that. Anyway, moving on to the primer. I have this hydrating primer, and this one is supposed to go hand in hand with the foundation since the foundation is so full coverage and can be drying. So this primer is a good prep for the skin. It has a floral scent. It goes on to the face really smooth. It kind of filled in my pores as well. Not to the extent. It definitely feels hydrating. The shade that I got is medium 57 warm, and this is the Locket foundation. Now I believe it used to be called Locket Tattoo Foundation, and this is the new packaging and all that, and I believe it has been reformulated because I've read reviews online that the old formula is actually very thick. This one is quite thick but thin, has a thin consistency as opposed to like Dermacol, which is mousse like thick. Now I really like the tone of this because it has that yellow undertone to it. The smell reminds me of the MAC Studio Fix foundation. This color is perfect for me. I'm going to apply this foundation with a brush, and I'm using the Sedona Lace 928 brush. It definitely covered my scarring, but I find that this foundation dries a little bit faster. It's definitely full coverage. So that was one pump. I'm gonna go with another pump to cover this side of my face because I feel like it dried quite a bit fast, that I wasn't able to apply the foundation evenly. But the color is a perfect match. It has a perfect undertone. You know what? The consistency of this, it reminds me of the Estee Lauder foundation, which is full coverage, but it's quite thin in consistency. It doesn't feel heavy onto the face, but it definitely dries real fast. I will try to apply the rest with my beauty sponge. I don't think I will go anymore because if I go more, I feel like it will cake up, and I can already tell like the foundation sort of bunching up on this area. And overall, I actually quite like the foundation. I don't think I will use this for everyday wear, but for occasions maybe I would. I don't have any concealer from Kat Von D because they were out of stock of the shade that I wanted to get, so I will just apply my usual concealer and then I'll come back on and set my face with a setting powder. I'm going to try and bake my under eye using this Kat Von D setting powder in translucent, and this is the travel size that they have, and it comes with a cute puff. It's so pretty. I've applied that much and it has like a yellow tone to it, which I guess is good for brightening, and I just used the puff that it came with. And for the rest of my face, I'll just use a powder brush. The translucent powder seems to set the face in place. It covered my pores around this area right here. I'm pretty sure you can tell from the camera. I feel like this is a good standard setting powder. Nothing too special really, but I mean it does the job from setting the makeup, so that's pretty good. I'm going to try the Shade and Light contour palette. So this is what it looks like, and it came with a instruction, and I actually picked the dual-ended contour brush, which came in this really cute case, and this is what it looks like. First and foremost, it's so soft and fluffy, and I love the fact that it tells you that this side is for highlight and this one is for contour. I think I'm gonna go with this yellow powder right here to set underneath my eyes. It's very pigmented and creamy. Oh wow, it definitely brightened my eye in an instant. I might mix in a little bit of this peachy shade right here just to add more brightness. And to contour, I might actually try this one right here. See how oh, that's powdery right there. It's so pigmented. That's actually a nice shade for my skin tone. That's actually a really nice subtle contour. I'm thinking of using this darker shade right here to really, damn, that's pigmented. That is pigmented. The contour powder is actually nice, but you have to be really careful because it's very pigmented and it has a lot of kickback. So I suggest you just lightly dab and then tap the excess. But it gives a nice shade into my face and you get a huge mirror on this one. I love the brush because it goes on very smoothly. It's so easy to use this brush to kind of just tap it, because since it's dual fiber it doesn't pick up that much product, if you know what I mean. But the shades in here are actually great. It could work for you, it's just personal preference, but for me, I love the highlight shades. I'm not so sold on the contour shades, but I mean it works. I mean this middle shade actually works for my skin tone in terms of bronzing my skin, but contouring this darker shade, it needs a lot of work because it's so pigmented. Though it's quite easy to blend, it doesn't really match my skin tone that much. But other than that, it's a good palette. I will try the Shade and Light eyeshadow palette actually before I move on to blush and highlight, because I don't have any of that in here. So this one is all matte shades, and I love the fact that it's divided into threes. To set my eyes, I'm probably going to use this shade right here on a flat brush just to even out the color of my eyes. To start off, I'm going to use this shade right here, just a transition shade. It's going to be a neutral look as well, but this palette is good, though I tried swatching it before and it's a bit chalky, but when you actually apply it onto your eyes, it's quite pigmented and it blends like a dream. Like, it has a lot of kickback, so you just have to literally just dab your brush and tap the excess. To deepen my outer V, I am going to use this shade right here. And then with the same brush, I'm gonna go with this warm shade, which is called Lucius. I'm sorry, they have names. I didn't even realize. So this will just add a nice haze of color. And then go back to the shade Latest, that transition shade, and then just blend everything. So I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just basically smoking everything out, just like, you know, that kind of haze of color. For the lower lash line, I'm just gonna use this Luscious shade right here. And then a little bit of Solace on the outer edge, that dark brown shade. And for brow bone highlight, I'm going to use the shade right here called Carmela. I feel like this shade has a little bit of sheen to it, but not too intense, which is great for highlight. And I'm actually going to highlight my inner corner with that as well. I really like this palette, and the fact that if you're traveling, you could also use this to fill in your brows, because you have your neutral browns over here. You got a warm shade, you got a black shade, and all the highlight colors. The shades are pigmented, and it's just an overall great neutral palette. So I definitely recommend this. And I've just finished applying everything else to my face. Moving on to the lips. I actually have 3 shades here. So I have Lolita, Lolita 2, and Bow and Arrow. So I will first try Lolita, which is like a dusty mauve or dusty rose color. So that's what it looks like here. Now these Everlasting liquid lipsticks are so pigmented and very soft. I didn't really apply that much, and it dries very quick, and it may feel a little bit uncomfortable, so I suggest you scrub or put some lip oil into your lips before applying this. And now I'm going to swatch Lolita 2, which is sort of like a dusty, it's not dusty, it's more of like a red orange. Just so you know, these Everlasting lipstick stains your lips. Like, no joke, it stains. But this is what Lolita 2 looks like. So it's a little bit warmer than before. This lipstick is actually nice. It's opaque as the first Lolita that I tried. It's comfortable onto the lips, but then again, if you don't scrub your lips, you will definitely see the lines on your lips. And it doesn't feel sticky, and it's transfer proof, which is amazing. And again, this is such a pain in the butt to take off. And the last shade that I'm going to try is this shade called Bow and Arrow. And this is just like a brownie nude, which is definitely right up my alley. And I actually quite like this shade. At first, I was expecting it to be a little bit lighter, but it's actually, it reminds me of my MAC Velvet Teddy in a liquid form. This is the finished look using all Kat Von D products, at least the ones that I have. So, what do you guys think? Oh, and before I forget, I will set my entire face using this Lock-It setting spray. The mist is so heavenly, and it's very fine, and it feels cooling to the face. Out of all the Kat Von D products that I've tried, my definite favorite is the setting spray, the eyeshadow palette, the contour palette. I only like 2 shades, which are the highlight shades, and I also love the liquid Everlasting lipsticks, which are these right here, and if I have to pick one, I would go for bow and arrow because it's just your nude, and I feel like this will look differently on different skin tones. And also the setting powder is okay. It's not, I wouldn't say it's the best, but it does the job on setting your foundation. I definitely love the foundation and the hydrating primer because I feel like they go hand in hand together. I love the brush, the dual-ended brush. This is not a must-have, but if you have an extra dime or two to spend on this brush, I highly recommend this because the shape and the bristles are just too soft, and it's great for blending. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates, and all the information down below about these products are in the description box, so make sure you read that, and I will talk to you on my next video. Bye!